Boy Wonder, you're fine. Welcome, guys. Squadding Quads and Boy Wonder FPV here. We've just been to the field and we've just done the crash and speed tests of the Gepard C Vapor D5. I'll wait for a few more people to come in before we discuss it too much. But if you are already here, please drop a comment down below and let me know what you think the top speed of that drone is. It surprised me, actually, if I'm honest. I won't say if it surprised me in a good or a bad way, but it's definitely surprised me. Well, I mean, you all know my thoughts on it after the review yesterday, and I hate with a passion saying it is the best. Morning, Eco. How's it going, fella? Morning, Connor. How's it going, fella? Hope you both are very well this morning. So yeah, you guys know I hate the phrase "the best," and it's sort of part of the reason why I started the channel, because there were, unfortunately, too many creators throwing out videos saying, "This is the best, buy it," and it was rubbish. Morning, Shazza. How's it going? 9:30 p.m. here in Australia. I bet it's warmer at 9:30 in Australia than it is here in the UK. WTX, when's the giveaway end? JD, yo, JD, my brother, how's it going? The giveaway ends, I said, about mid-March. And I think we're near mid-March now. I've got a live stream at about 6 or 7 p.m. UK time tonight, where I am going to very, very excitedly release some exclusive information about two new drones that are being released by a manufacturer. Yeah. Chaz says it was 40 degrees Celsius here today. Chaz, how does a Brit who earns his income from YouTube move to Australia? Please let me know, because I'm sick of this cold weather. Kerfuffle, how are you seeing your comments? So I have, Kerfuffle, I have like my head is connected to my phone telepathically, so I can see your comments here, but they're actually transmitted into my head, or something like that. Ali says hello from Krakow. I bet it's colder in Krakow than it is in the UK. So thank heavens for small mercy. But Chaz, find out how a Brit moves to Australia. It needs to happen. And if you find out for me and make it happen, I'll fly with you. WTX, did you have some fun with your miss last night? I'm not sure what I missed last night, but yes. Kerfuffle says, LOL, nice. No, Kerfuffle, jokes aside, mate. These are the goggles 3, and that's a camera there, and that's a camera there. So no, just there actually. So if I cover that now, I can't see anything. So it's past here, and then up here on this sort of corner of the screen, I can see the drone. Hello from Denver. Denver, Colorado. Bit cold at this time of the year, but lovely summers in Denver, Colorado. Some of those mountains over there, I would love to fly in Denver. Raf says hello from North Africa. Beautiful. Again, I bet it's warmer there than it is here.
I don't think it's RAF. I think this is RAF.
RAF or RAF. Que sera, sera. Tomato, tomato. Eco says, mind if I ask if you're up north? I'm mid-east and it's still a tad nippy. I'm northwest. So yeah, I mean, if you're in the northeast, mate, it's cold in fucking flipping August, isn't it? What's better, the Flybe 16 or Flybe 20? Flybe 16. In my opinion, is better. I've flown both, I've reviewed both. Flybe 20 is, for whatever reason, a what's the word?
Bad thing?
No, like a not a failed genius, what a tainted genius almost. Connor says, sorry I haven't been online for some time, reception is bad. No, Connor, honestly, I've got your back, brother. I've always got your back. Okay, you're one of the good guys out there, so don't you worry about it. But find out how a Brit can move to South Africa, because I just want us to go somewhere warm. Kerfuffle Sauce says, oh, okay, I didn't know the new goggles had a cam. Yeah, it's literally that there. That's the camera. And it just, you know, it adds a little bit of extra spice to these live streams, doesn't it? You guys don't want to see my face, okay? I've got a face for radio. You don't want to see that. So if I can entertain and amuse you in any other different ways, then that is what I'll aim to do. What's the best 85mm drone with an 04? Currently, bind and fly wise, probably the Mobula 7, to be honest. But again, that's a bit of a tainted genius. Bit of exclusive news for anybody who is here. We have partnered with a UK store that have got a customer's return that they can't fix, and they're sending us. So we're going to be doing a video, maybe even a live stream on it. And yeah, let's see if we can fix it when a UK shop can't. Face for radio. I'll take your word for that. No, mate, honestly, like, if I was to show my face on this channel, right, I've got, like, there's no reason not to, but if I was to show my face on this channel, I would lose 37,000 subscribers, and I've only got 35,000 subscribers, so it's not worth the risk, fella. Chaz, okay, thanks. Mobula 7 over the flywheel ones. What you doing with it? Because the flywheel 85mm ones fly better outside, and the Mobula's better for a bit of both, and then the Meteor's better for more indoors, but that's a 75. So yeah. Also, Eco, I can't believe you just said it's only a tad nippy in the northeast when it's bloody freezing down here today. Yeah, I don't. Que sera. So yeah, we've just done, because I wanted to split the review up rather than making it like nearly an hour long and making you guys endure non-stop me talking absolute bollocks, which is obviously why I'm now on a live stream. I decided to split the review up. So we've got a setup video, and then we've also got a video of the top speed and the crash test, which we've just done now. 160, I think 165, between 165 and 167 kilometers an hour, which comes in at around about 102 miles per hour. And it just, the thing is, it was just holding that speed as well. It wasn't, the speed wasn't bleeding off. The problem was I had to bleed off speed because I was running out of space. And then the crash test, it's a 5-inch. It's a really well put together 5-inch. Exactly what you would expect to happen happened. It crashed and literally nothing happened. But it's good that we do it because we have to hold manufacturers to account. Yes, outside mainly. So probably the Fly times 85 then, Chaz. Mobula 7 is 80mm actually. Oh. Well, I consider myself told. I do apologise. I've reviewed and flown that much stuff at the minute that this noggin here just hasn't got enough space inside it to retain it all. So yeah, sorry for the misinformation. I'll do better one day, just not today. Not today. So who's flying today? And where are you flying from? Chaz says, so the Fly Times is better than the Flywheel. Well, the Fly Times is made by Flywheel, but better is subjective. If you're saying you want to fly outdoors and do more freestyle, then the Fly Times 85 is the one to get. But it's not better at flying indoors and precision. So better is so subjective. Currently on Walks Now goggles L, you think it'll be a good investment to get the new HD Zero box goggles for tiny whoops. I find they're expensive for Walks Now. Eco, do you own any DJI goggles? Because I've got to be honest, I love HD Zero. I made a documentary about HD Zero. But honestly, the problem is, like, if you've got a set of DJI goggles that are compatible with the 04 Lite, that's the one to get. It really is. Like, what HD Zero is fun. The problem with HD Zero is the penetration is awful. As soon as the weather's a little bit warmer, I can spend more than like 1 or 2 flights outside. What I'll do is I'm going to try and do a comparison of all the systems. But the weather is just so cold and unpredictable at the minute, it's virtually impossible to do it. But as soon as I can, I will. But that's the problem. Like, HD Zero's fun, but it's still lacking, I think, in penetration and range. It's essentially analog plus, if that makes sense. Oh crap, I meant the Fly Lens 85. Like I say, Chaz, if you're flying outdoors and doing acro, the Fly Times 85. Not the Fly Lens. If you're mainly doing indoors and precision, the Mobula. If you're doing a mix of indoors and precision, the Mobula. And if you're mainly doing indoors, then I would go with the Beta FPV Meteor 75 Pro HD. Blah, blah, blah. Eco says, I'm going to be flying later with the Lightning II. Oh, nice. We'll be trying to split S for the first time. Earl. I don't know who this Earl person is, but he's always in my comments. With regards to split S's, my advice, you're not asking for my advice, but I'll give it for anybody that cares. anybody who's trying a new trick, try it 3 mistakes high. So like on my tree, when I first tried to power loop, I was 3 times higher than my tree. Did a power loop, came down to 2 mistakes high, and then so on and so forth, and then you get lower and lower and lower. Just go mistakes high, and then once you've got the confidence that you know what you're doing, then go lower, then mix in an obstacle, and you'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine. Unfortunately not. I only got the Goggles L. Tempted for DJI, but was put off by the closed ecosystem. The problem is, talking of ecosystems, Walksnail's a closed ecosystem. HD Zero's a closed ecosystem. They're all closed ecosystems. Now, you do get a little bit of extra with Walksnail. You can plug a HD Zero receiver in or an analog receiver in. But on my older DJI goggles, I can plug an analog receiver into those. So I get people's points, but most of these systems are closed ecosystems. Gento says, will you ever do a face reveal? The problem is, Gento, right, I'm so ugly that if I did a face reveal, I would lose 37,000 subscribers.
Wrong.
And I've only got 35,000 subscribers.
Wrong.
You know, it's definitely right.
Again.
It's definitely right. So that's the problem I've got, Gento. How about I'll do a face reveal on 150k subs?
Yeah.
And I'll stand by that. But I'll probably lose 180,000 subs when I do it. Eco says, I can vouch. Got the Fly Times 85 on Walksnail. Very fun. It can run a bit hot, I found. Yeah, I mean, that is Walksnail all over. It does, unfortunately, run a little bit hot. As with anything with these small VTXs, you just need to get it in the air as quick as you can. So don't plug it in until you're ready to take off. And just get it in the air as quick as you can. And once you're in the air, you're fine. Fill your boots. Morning, bro. Morning, Phil. Got Goggles 2. Want to take the plunge into 04. Is there still issues with Goggle 2 and 04? There was an update last week. I've been testing it extensively since last week, including flying in abandoned collieries with no access in or out with brand new 04 Pro 5-inch binder flies, and I've had 0 issues. So whether that update has fully addressed it or not, the problem is we never know with DJI. They don't like to admit, it's a whole cultural thing in China. They don't like to admit fault and problems. So actually getting out of them is a bit of a pain. It does seem better, is all I can say. I reckon you should be okay. You sound like Andy Kirby. Who is Andy Kirby? David says, I don't know who Andy Kirby is. Who's Andy Kirby? RAF FPV says the new Open IPC VTX for Emacs looks great. Connect to the HDI. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. That new Open IPC looks really good. I'm going to wait on that, I think, a little bit. I've got so many projects on, and I think it just requires a lot of time to be fair to the system. I don't want to sort of just do a quick look and miss something. So yeah. FM Triple X says, good morning. We just ordered a Huma 25 for fun. First 04 system, 03 on my 5-inch. The Huma's a great drone. It's so overpowered for what it is. It screams. That's my only issue with it. It really does scream. David Heil, Eco says, good point. Never thought of it like that. I'll browse around for equipment and see what's most suited. Currently just flying in a small park, so not much penetration needed. Yeah, no, I understand that, and I get it. But do you know my tree? You guys, I'm sure you've all seen my tree. Once the leaves are on that tree, if I fly HD Zero on the other side of that tree, I get breakup. And it's only 60 foot away. So yeah, Fill Your Boot says, thanks, mate, you're welcome. Kerfuffle says, idle when I'm doing adjustments to keep the VTX cool. Fill Your Boot says, with a hint. What the is this Tyson Fury thing you guys are on about? Like, I know who Tyson Fury is, obviously. Soon. I know who Tyson Fury is, guys. He's actually one of my heroes, and I've done a video of his house and stuff. I don't think I sound like him though, but he's a British YouTuber and occasionally flies FPV. I'll have to double check. In fact, I'm just going to take a screenshot of this because you're all saying that I sound like Tyson Fury and Andy Kirby. He does sound a little bit like Andy Kirby. Yeah, Tyson Fury is one of the what's the word I'm looking for? He is one of my I don't want to say heroes because it's a bit, you know, But yeah, he's an absolute gem of a man. He really is. Some people might disagree with some things he says, but that's life. We can all disagree with each other and still, still be human, still be adults, still get along. Do you think the antennas on the drone is the penetration issues? No. What happens is with HD Zero. So DJI essentially, and I think Carex does it to a lesser extent because the chips are not as powerful, but it sort of sends and receives the signal and repairs the signal, which is why it's so good. With HD Zero, it's just a one-way thing. HD Zero is basically just analog, but with better equipment. The technology and everything behind it is essentially just analog, which is why it's so good from a latency point of view. Kerfuffle Sauce says, I am an idol. I just thought you was calling yourself Idol Kerfuffle. I thought that was a bit unfair. RAF FPV says, where do you usually fly? It depends on the weather. If the weather's nice, I'll fly anywhere, like abandoned places. I don't have many bandos near me that I can get into, unfortunately. But I'll literally fly anywhere that's legal. In the winter, I'm sort of restricted to my field because I need to charge a battery, get out. I say my field, it's a public field. Sounds like I wish it was my field. Do you know something new about the new Gepard long range quads? I have heard a little bit about them. I believe they're still going through testing though, so I have heard something from Sub 250, so you guys will be quite excited about that. And like I say, on the live stream tonight, about 6 or 7 p.m, because I need to try and get some overlays and stuff sorted and do it a little bit professionally instead of being such an unprofessional, unprepared person. I have got some industry exclusive news to reveal. I can't tell you everything, but I can tell you what I've seen. I can tell you stuff, basically. When may they be coming? I'm excited about a 7-inch long range drone. I believe the end of this month, beginning of next month. YMZ FPV are also releasing an 04 Lite Lightning at the end of this month, beginning of next month as well. So just two ends of the spectrum there. Eco says, making it big time now, man. Good stuff. Well, we're still fighting. We've got a long way to go. You've got to remember the big channels are 10 times bigger than we are, which, is no joke. We've still got plenty of manufacturers that won't even acknowledge us, and we're only bringing in a fraction of what the big boys bring in. So we're having to fight for scraps. But the thing is, and you guys, anybody who follows me on Instagram will know I'm always posting and liking motivational stuff. The one thing that I've got is the determination of a dog to make this channel a success. And I am doing absolutely everything I can to make sure that we get up there with the big boys. We've got a long way to go, but I've got the fight inside me to make sure that we do it. We've put out a video every day this week. We've got more content coming. We've got more reviews coming. We've got live streams coming. And I'm just going to keep fighting until we get up there. And rest assured, like the guys that have been supporting me for a long time, I know who you are. I've got your backs too. I'll look after you as well. This is a community. This is not just me. David says, great news then. Kerfuffle says, hopefully Walksnail will have more heat shrinks for the Goggles X soon. Yes. I can't really say too much on Walksnail. I have renewed my agreement with them. That's all I can tell you. And new things are coming. That's all I can say though. Eco says, I can tell, man, videos are really good quality. I really do appreciate that. Like, it means a lot. Like, this time last year, I did my sort of first review. And I did it on my desk, in my bedroom, no lighting, using my mobile phone, and it was dire. It was awful. But it sparked something inside me to say, this is what you want to do. And then, obviously, we got the studio built in one of our spare rooms about November time. And then sort of between November and now, I've been learning and honing the craft. And honestly, I've got that dog, that fighting dog inside me that I really, really want to make this a success. But not just for me, like I say, and I've always said this from day one, I want this to be a community, so I want it to be a success for all of us. I want us all to benefit. I'm talking to HQ at the minute about making some Squad in Quads branded props so that you guys, not just yet, mate, so that you guys know that when I recommend you a prop, it's a prop that's got my name on it. So you guys know, there's too much on YouTube and especially in FPV. There is unfortunately too many accounts that will just plug stuff for the sake of plugging stuff. That's not how we do it here. If it's trash, I'll tell you it's trash. And that does make some manufacturers nervous. It is what it is. RAF FPV says Walksnail is going to transition to open IPC. That's interesting. Have Walksnail announced that? Or have Cadex, should I say? Have Cadex announced that? That's an interesting take on things. I'm literally sat here waiting now. Like, I've forgotten what else I was going to say. So, yeah. So we're doing good. Like I said, we are 10 times smaller than the big boys. So we've got to really fight. Never heard of Open IPC before this stream. Is it a new system? It's an open source digital VTX system. And it is still in the relatively early days. It's a lot more mature than it was 12 months ago and a hell of a lot more mature than it was sort of 18, 24 months ago. But it's still a relatively new system that's got quirks. It's definitely worth looking at, but I don't want to necessarily give my opinion on it just yet because I haven't had hands-on and all I can see is what other people are putting out there. Bless you. In a couple of weeks, bless you. In a couple of weeks, hopefully I'll get hold of a set, and we'll bring it to the channel and we'll let you know our honest thoughts and opinions. And like I say, especially with HD0 stuff, if there are problems with it, I will be honest and I will say this is a problem and that's a problem. Runcam released a second version of the VTX. Yep, I think that was last week, wasn't it, that Runcam released that? And it looks a lot more mature than it has done for a while. So there's definitely good things happening. I just don't quite think. I don't know. I would have to get hold of a system to test fully before I can start saying things, because I'm aware now that although I'm not a big boy in the YouTube world, if I say something and it's wrong, that it could cause problems. So I don't want to do that. Men says, wondering how many people fly with a spotter in the UK. Everybody does. Everybody, because that's the law. Nobody breaks the law. There are already 2 VTXs, one for Runcam and another for Emax. Eco says, sounds interesting. We'll get some research for it. Don't plan on buying it until there is a finished product. I mean, there is a finished product. I just think it needs to go a little bit further. David says, is the 04 Pro as bulletproof as the 03? Did not hear of it breaking in a crash. Holds up like the 03. I know the UFL connectors are a little bit weak. I know people have had problems with UFL connectors. I've just dropped this Gep RC from about 50 foot and it landed upside down on the antennas and they're absolutely fine. But it's like anything. If you smash something up in a bando, it's going to break. I think people's expectations sometimes. One thing I will say is the 04 Lite is really flimsy. I broke a camera already, and that wasn't with crashing either. Men says true. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a flippant comment, but I've got to be honest, mate. I always fly with a spotter because if I get caught, especially on this platform without a spotter, then I'm going to be in massive trouble, and that's game over. Everybody I know flies with a spotter, but like anything in life, tell me one person who drives a car and sticks to 30 miles an hour. There is always going to be people that push, bend and break the limits and the laws. That's just life. Are you going to be flying on live? Not today, but once the weather's nicer, yes. I'm going to come out to the field. I've got a nice little tripod and we'll set it up and we'll do some live flying once the weather improves a little bit. Eco says, my dad spots for me, especially because I fly in a small park. Don't want to shred on some kids. It's not just that, Eco. The reason why I will always fly with a spotter, like I say, partly because of this channel, but also if you're out here with a 500 quid pair of goggles, a 600 quid drone, 200 quid controller, you've got 1,000 quid's worth of equipment on you, plus your phone, plus whatever else you've got on you. And okay, I can see through these now because I've got this pass-through mode, but I don't fly like this. Somebody could sneak up on me, hit me, grab the controller, smash the drone into somebody's face. I'm liable for that because I don't have a spotter. Then they could, rob. Yes, you are, exactly. They could then rob my goggles and whatever else I've got on me. It's just not worth the risk. Boy wonder. Yeah, kerfuffle. Yes, nobody breaks the law in here. Exactly.
Yeah.
Boy Wonder does spot for me sometimes, and some people might think, well, Boy Wonder's 11, so can he spot? The civil aviation guidelines is if the person is a competent pilot who knows the rules, they can be a spotter. Well, Boy Wonder FPV has passed his CAA exam. Boy Wonder FPV flies FPV, and he knows the laws. He knows what you can and you can't do. So, but you can't just randomly say you've got like a 5-year-old kid say, watch my drone for me as I fly. That wouldn't be accepted under the letter of the law anyway. But
not.
yeah, no, kerfuffle, you're right. Nobody here breaks the law, especially not on a live stream. Had to crunch mad numbers to get my current build on 250 grams. Annoying, but I did it somehow. Yeah, I mean, the whole 249 grams is so arbitrary. I'd like to see the limit increase to 500 grams. Whether it'll happen or not, the story. Men, have you got a setup to stream actual drone POV? The problem with that is you need so much bandwidth. I don't even know if it'd be possible. Yes, it would be possible, but I don't know how good it would be. It might be a little bit rubbish. But I'll explore the possibilities. David says, does line of sight mean line of sight when 2 kilometers away? David, the law is you have to be able to physically see the drone and the direction of which it is pointing in.
I always know that.
Now, there's a few ways to help. If you add LEDs to the front, say green LEDs to the front and red LEDs to the back, it's so much easier to know which way it's pointing. But if you're flying like a Mavic Mini, then you're probably going to lose it about 120 foot away, or sorry, about 120 meters away. Monty Don says, why are you wearing that mask? Because I'm an ugly, fugly mofo. Ed's Ants, hello!
An ugly ogre.
An ugly ogre, yeah. Kerfuffle sauce. 300 would be nice. I mean, I'm going to aim for 500. I know that the FPV Freedom Coalition were pushing for 1 kilogram. I don't think that will ever happen, but I would 100% support them in that. Hooked in the Sky says, hello, how are you? Kerfuffle sauce says 250 is just cruel when you're at 251. The thing is, if you are so close to it, is a police officer going to come and pull out a pair of scales? Then you've got the argument to say, well, my scale said 249. Your scales are calibrated different to mine. So when it's so close, I think you're okay. And I'm not suggesting anybody break the law, but it's like when you get...
Sub 250, there you go.
Yeah, it's like when you fly in, sorry, it's like when you drive in a car. You won't ever get a speeding ticket for doing 31 miles an hour. It needs to be 33 miles an hour because of all the different inconsistencies. And I suspect it will be very similar. I'm very well hooked in the sky. How are you? Kerfuffle says, our police just shoot us. Well, is it acceptable to make a school shooter joke? Let me know in the comments down below before I do it. I don't want to get cancelled. Not today. Not today. Let me get a little bit bigger before you cancel me.
I mean, you will get cancelled if you talk about killing people.
Well, to be fair, Kerfuffle just said the police are going to shoot him, so... Only Drone says, what the fuck are you doing? Flying. Don't. Okay, I'm sorry. I won't make any school shooter jokes. I'm sorry. Has there ever been any cases of people being done for flying without a spotter? Yes, there was a guy. The problem is they'll never do you for just flying without a spotter. You've got to be taking a mic. Ed's Ants, we are flying the Gep RC Vapor D5. We've just done the speed test and the crash test. Yeah, you've got to be taking the mic to get done for flying without a spotter. So it's a culmination of things. So what tends to happen is if you're flying without a spotter, you'll get done for flying above 400 foot, or you'll get done for flying 1 kilometre away or 2 kilometres away. And then they'll add on the extra charge of, oh, your radio set to a watt, so you've not got a ham license, so that's an extra charge. Oh, you've not got a spotter, so that's an extra charge. I've never heard of anybody that's been done by the police for just not having a spotter. But nobody on this channel breaks the law ever. Only Drones joined at the time that I said that. It's like a bat signal to you, Only Drones. Right, lads, I'll be off. Still in bed? Oh, I don't blame you, mate. I would love to be in bed. In fact, we're on 30 minutes, so I'm going to head off as well. Listen, guys, you've all been absolutely amazing. Join us for the stream tonight. We've got some exclusive news to relay. Yeah, I appreciate every single one of you. Kerfuffle says never, yeah. What time is the stream? It'd be 6. I'm aiming for 6 p.m, but I've got a delivery coming, so it may be 7 p.m. UK time tonight. Check the YouTube community post, and I'll try and keep you guys updated, but it just depends when that delivery comes. See you later, Kerfuffle. Be safe. Please don't get shot by the police today, and I'll catch you all. RML says happy flying. You too, brother. Thanks everybody for your support, and I will catch you all next time. Red Baron, David Sanity. See you all later, guys. I appreciate you all so much. Stay safe.
Bye.
Peace out.